Welcome back to the KillCast. KILLAZ.INC podcast. How you doing, DJ?
Oh, another wonderful day in paradise.
Working that pasta machine?
Oh God, we're not getting into that.
Yeah, man. So, how's your week
Another
been?
episode, perhaps.
Yeah, another episode.
Good, good. It's been a little hectic here and there, but for the most part, we're here.
Yeah,
Almost the weekend.
almost the weekend. I've been on a 4-day weekend or 3-day weekends going forward through the rest of the year because I have a bunch of PTO to use off. So, stoked on that.
Are you quitting?
Yeah.
Are you quit? That's the sign of a quitter, right there.
I'm quitting.
Got to use all my PTO, man. Oh yeah. By the way, I quit.
Oh yeah. No, I still have sick time and personal time to use if that's the case.
Right.
So, what you been playing?
Oh, mostly Call of Duty. Not much has changed since last week. Messing around with a little bit of Resident Evil on the Switch. Resident Evil 5 to be exact. It's okay. It's not the dumpster fire I expected it to be.
So I know that some of the issues we've been talking about with the Switch is just that games being ported over just can't be handled properly with the processor on board with the Switch. So how is Resident Evil 5 working?
So far it's playing pretty decent. You know, the Switch, it's kind of an oddball. It's like it's almost there, you know what I mean? Like it almost has enough power to do, these games, but and then you just hit spots where you're like, okay, seriously, it's not enough.
Yeah. Well, has there been any talk of like Switch Extreme coming out or anything like that? A little bit of
the Switch Extreme
that would have like a better processor in it, graphics and CPU wise. That would be like maybe $200 or $100 more or something like that, and users could get that full on experience if they wanted to pay the extra price.
Oh, I hope not. $200 more, that'd make it like $450.
Well, if
they came out with the Switch Lite, which is, I don't understand why anybody would want a Switch Lite. Like, look, the Switch is a mobile gaming platform. The Switch Lite is a mobile gaming platform that's smaller, so you got a smaller screen. The Joy-Cons don't come off, so God forbid anything happen to your Joy-Cons. You get Joy-Con drift or something. You can't just pull them off and change them out for other Joy-Cons.
Damn.
And the biggest downfall, in my personal opinion, to the Switch Lite is that you cannot dock it and play it on your TV. And that's kind of the point of getting a Switch, in my opinion, is that you could take it anywhere you want, and then you could come home, set it in your dock, throw it up on a big screen.
You can't dock the Lite, huh?
You cannot dock the Lite. It's just doesn't have the hardware in it. It's cheaper, but it's just solely based to be that mobile gaming platform.
Gotcha.
Not something you can dock. So
interesting.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, but I guess if somebody doesn't really have the need to dock it necessarily and they just want it as portable gaming device,
a regular Switch and you just use it as a portable gaming device. Well, isn't that what it is?
Yeah, but what's the price difference?
I don't think it's enough to make me not want the dockability.
Let's check it out. All right, let's see. Nintendo.
Yeah, pull it up.
Switch.
But anyway, on the Switch Pro front, I don't know. I've heard so many rumors that there's going to be a more powerful Switch. The last thing we seen was the updated Switch, which just came with, I believe, a more refined target processor. Well, more efficient, I should say. And that gave it better battery capacity.
Gotcha.
Which is one thing the Switch does lack is battery capacity. I mean, if you're playing any kind of, big game, Zelda, Breath of the Wild, you're probably going to get 3 hours of continuous gameplay out of it before you got to charge it.
Can you play while charging? Or is it like, do you have to dock it to charge it kind of thing?
I've always been pretty cautious about what I plug in as far as, aftermarket docks or chargers. But I have had great success with just it's USB-C that it uses. I just unplug my factory Nintendo charger from the docking bay, plug it into the wall, and then plug it into the bottom of it. And yeah, you can play it that way while you're charging.
So it just runs on a typical USB-C connection then?
Yeah, but there's some things with people that have gotten third-party docking bays that have, bricked their switches. So that sucks. I don't want to see that happen.
Totally. But what about, okay, so my dad's phone has a USB-C charger that just plugs into the wall, right? Can I plug that into a Switch and just like a phone? Or does it need to go through the docking bay kind of thing?
No, you can plug it directly in the bottom. When you dock the Switch, it slides down into these little guides and it guides it directly down onto basically it's a USB-C port. But I would always err on the side of caution and only use a Nintendo brand charger just because. The horror stories of having a brick Switch, that sucks, man.
Well, I don't
because
understand.
a lot of your save data. I mean, well, once your Switch is bricked, I guess it's bricked, man. You're out of
Well, I
Switch.
get that. I don't understand the fact that what makes the docking port different than being able to just plug it into a wall charger cord, essentially.
I don't know. It has something to do with voltage,
Ah, makes sense, I guess.
I would think.
We'll have to look into it maybe
I,
a little bit. I don't know.
yeah,
It'd be cool to bring up. We could do like a Switch focused episode.
but if they came out with a Switch Pro that had just a wee bit more, as far as processing power, I think it'd be a really good console.
Yeah.
It is a really good console if you like indie titles and Mario titles. And there's a couple like we've talked about in the past. There's ports that work really well on the Switch, but a lot of the ports it just seems like it needs more power, man.
Yeah. So I looked up the prices, and it looks like the Nintendo Switch normal goes. You can get it at like GameStop and Target. Target looks like it's 300. GameStop looks like it's 260 right now, and those both come with the great Joy-Con. The Switch Lite looks like it's going for about $200, so about $50 to $100 cheaper. At this point,
Yeah,
if I was
and-
going to get one, because I have an Xbox One and I have a PC, but if I was going to get a portable gaming console and they had a Switch Pro available with processor and graphics processor that could run something like Witcher 3 without falling over on its side, then an extra $100 would probably be in my price range to pay for it if I was in the market for a Switch. $350 for a portable, decent gaming console, essentially, an Xbox in your hands.
I just don't see the point in buying the Lite and not having the removable Joy-Cons. Plus, I think you also lose the gyro controllers, or it's essentially like motion controllers, like how the Nintendo Wii, how you'd play bowling.
Right.
The controllers do that as well, or the Joy-Cons do. You lose that function altogether with the Switch Lite. So it's just you lose too much for saving what, 67 to $100.
Yeah, I mean, they're
You-
trying to penetrate all aspects of the market. I mean, just look at Scion and Toyota.
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, man, even if you don't dock it, the regular Switch has a bigger screen. To be honest, when it comes to handhelds, man, I just, I'd rather have the bigger screen.
Yeah, I agree. I haven't actually really seen the Switch in person, honestly, to be quite frank. Okay, DJ, so the Nintendo Switch, bottom line it for me. What do you think, if somebody's going to go out and get a Nintendo Switch today, what do you recommend?
Buy a Nintendo Switch. Don't buy the Lite. And make sure you're getting the newer, updated version. I mean, it's got better battery life, more efficient processor is what gives it the better battery life. So if you can get a couple more hours out of it, which is what people are claiming, they're claiming instead of getting like 3 hours on like Breath of the Wild, they're getting like 5. So you buy a Switch to go mobile gaming, right?
Yep.
So why wouldn't you want the one that's got more juice behind it?
Right. Well, what'll be interesting to see, hopefully they come out with a pro version. That would be really cool and worth my interest in investing in. If I can, like I said, if I can play Witcher 3 at its semi-full fidelity on the go, then goddamn, I'm sold.
Right. Even if it'll play, 30 frames at 1080.
Right.
But that's not what they're getting right now. So
Yep.
we'll see what happens with it in the future. It'd be nice to see a revision that gives us just a little bit more computing power to where it can play these AAA titles that are somewhat dumbed down, but still play smoothly. And that's what I'm looking forward to anyway. We'll see.
Cool.
It's all rumors.
Yep. Cool. Well, it'll be interesting to see what happens going forward. So, moving on to the next thing, Red Dead Redemption has come out.
Epic fail.
Came out on Tuesday. Looks like November 5th. It dropped on PC, and it doesn't look like it's going too. It doesn't look like it's going too well.
No, man, it dropped like a big old pile of poo.
Well, what's going on?
Crashes, man. Just everybody's having problems getting it to function. Like, how do you release something for, upwards of $60? That just simply doesn't work. I mean, everybody was upset when Call of Duty released and then their servers got overloaded and you couldn't log in for 4 hours. Okay, 4 hours. The people are downloading this game, not even playing online, can't even get the thing to function. It just keeps giving them random crashes, and a lot of it, from what I've looked at, is the launcher itself. The Rockstar launcher is having problems. Supposedly, there was an update that may or may not have fixed it for the majority of people, but it seems that if you go into your settings and you try to change it off of Vulkan to DirectX 12, it just completely crashes, and then you have to go in and delete the save file out of your documents on your computer.
Damn.
Just to get it to boot back up. So it's kind of a tricky, wishy-washy startup for that game right now.
Well, that's unfortunate because I know it was highly anticipated myself. I'm looking forward to playing it when it's actually able to be played. So I'm not about to drop 60. Well, I might even get the deluxe edition or whatever for $80 if they get this stuff straightened out. It looks like a couple of people have been reporting that they have no issues.
Yeah, and they have Intel systems, I believe. But I've also seen Intel systems, reports of Intel systems that can't get it to function either. So it's like I said, I don't know what the problem is. Everything that is being suggested as a fix is hit and miss on whether it'll work per system. So it's a real cluster F right now.
You know what it's looking like? It's looking like it's just not compatible with all the different configurations.
Looks like it's just not compatible with anything.
Well, like, yeah, but like it looks like, okay, so I have people saying that it's overload, DRM servers being overloaded. There's people saying that you need to update your BIOS. People saying that DirectX 12 running, and that's an issue. AMD versus Intel stuff or NVIDIA stuff, and it just looks like it seems like they didn't cover their bases enough with the range of systems out there in order to make it run on PC, because unlike console, PC has endless amounts of configurations between hardware and software. So
yeah,
that's something they have to take into consideration.
I don't know, man, because I feel like, okay, they've had over a year to figure this out, right?
Right.
So why would you even say we're releasing the game when, I mean, it obviously doesn't work on most systems? Well, that seems like a real wild card type of thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't understand how they let this go to production when it didn't work. Like, how does this not get seen by somebody? It's like magazine articles that get through that are just asinine beyond ridiculousness, and they still get published. And it's like, at what point, how did this get through quality assurance and testing? And they never realized, oh, it doesn't run on anybody's rig. That's what makes me think that, like, they're using the same stuff, the, like, same dev kit for testing and stuff like that. Oh, it runs on this system, so it should run everywhere in theory. But it doesn't. And it's
a lot of people are reporting that their recommended specs as well are way off.
Interesting.
I mean, I think they were claiming 60 frames a second. Yeah, 60 frames a second for 4K. You're required to run a GTX 2080 Ti, and there's people out there saying that they're not even hitting that. And then on the other hand, though, there are people out there saying that it's playing flawlessly for them. So
it's a mixed.
That's good.
Yeah, it's a mixed bag.
It seems like the vast majority of people are having problems.
Yeah, it seems like there's definitely a mixed bag of stuff that's going on right now. I hope they can get this straightened out. I know that the GTA 4 launch port, I guess, over in general to PC was a complete disaster. They did a good job with 5, but it took them a while. And so I have faith that, like, so this is my theory behind it. Like, Red Dead Redemption Online is going to be such a cash cow for them, so to speak, that they cannot afford to not fix it properly so that everybody and their mother can come over from GTA Online and wherever else in the video game universe and come play Red Dead Redemption Online. And I'm sure they're going to have, you know, a store in there and everything like that, microtransactions and stuff like that. But Rockstar has kind of walked the balance a little bit on that, so to speak. Like, it supports and sustains itself in a way that's not predatory.
Sure, yeah.
So, I mean, it's a cash cow for them, and they need to get it fixed because people are going to play it for years on end, and I really hope that they can get it fixed soon because I'm stoked to play the game, and I know a lot of people are very disappointed in what's going on right now. And
myself included, man. I waited. I mean, I have an Xbox. I just don't use it. It's an original Xbox One, and my PC is so much better. And I almost went and bought the game on Xbox, but I was like, you know, if I had an Xbox One X, but I'm not going to go buy that just to play the game. And I've been waiting and waiting patiently because I knew when it came out for PC, it was going to have 4K support. It was going to be, you know, just your field of view is going to be dramatically better. Detail is going to be just way better. Plus, you're going to be able to play at higher frames. And so I waited and I waited. And I almost was one of those fools that pre-ordered, man. And I'm glad I didn't. Because, yeah, Rockstar needs to figure it out. If they get it figured out, I say we both get it, and we go right off into the sunset, man.
Hell yeah. You know what? I agree. I'm a huge fan of the Red Dead Redemption, Red Dead Revolver, Red Dead series in general, and I spent so much time in it on Red Dead 1. Yeah, I played Red Dead Redemption Online, well, Red Dead Redemption 1 multiplayer or whatever with Diesel Image and Spider back in the day on Xbox a ton, and we got really good on that game. We were taking out. That game had kind of like a prestige system online, just like Call of Duty, where you would get to a certain level and you could prestige and start over. So we were taking out like
nice.
highest level prestiges from across the map with some like hunting rifles without even like aiming across, without even pulling the gun up and looking down the
good
sights.
old-fashioned lever action.
Dude, we were crushing it on that game. There was this one map or one area that we ran through, and we were so systematic. It would be like a surgeon with a scalpel going through it. And we got our time down so good, and we were trying to beat the world record on it. And it was just so much fun. We had so much fun, and then like I don't know, we just spent too much time on doing that, and like then the update came out with like the tomahawks and stuff, and I never really got back into it after that because there's just so many other games. But I do have fond memories of playing Red Dead 2 or Red Dead 1, and I'm super stoked to check out Red Dead 2, and hopefully it'll be half as awesome as it was back in the day.
Let's hope, man. Keep my fingers crossed because it's something I've been looking forward to, and it was just a real letdown. Like I said, really glad I didn't pre-order.
Right. All right, cool. Well, hopefully they can get their stuff figured out, and yeah, go Rockstar. Anyways, so the next thing that's really been kind of shaking up the video game world lately in the last week, there hasn't been a whole ton of news going on as far as releases and controversies and things like that. Everybody's kind of keeping quiet, but one big hot topic right now in the video game industry is Death Stranding. Have you heard about this game, DJ?
I've seen a little bit of it. Not a lot. Not enough to actually give an educated opinion, if there is such a thing.
It's yeah, it's definitely interesting. I'm not even really sure what the whole story behind it is because I haven't played it myself, and there's been a lot of like hush hush around the whole idea concept behind the game up until launch anyways. So Death Stranding is the latest game produced by video game director Hideo Kojima. And if you aren't aware, Hideo Kojima is the mastermind behind a little video game series known as Metal Gear Solid.
Ooh, Metal Gear.
Did you play the Metal Gear games?
I played a little bit of some earlier ones, like probably the original one on PlayStation 1. But after that, I didn't get into a whole lot of it.
Yeah, I never really got into the whole Metal Gear game series myself. My coworker swears up and down by it, saying it's like the greatest game he's ever played, which I could believe because it looks like it would be a lot of fun. And once I got into the lore and the economy of the game, I would really enjoy it, I'm sure. But I just really never really got into it, and I feel like there's so many titles that I've missed that I just am kind of lost beyond it.
Anyway, I don't know if the series like held two, but I remember the one I played on PlayStation 1, which I believe, again, was the original, was it basically rewarded you for being real stealthy.
Yep. So a lot of people say that the Metal Gear Solid games were stealth genre before stealth genre was a thing. And that's how they kind of hold it in regards to like putting into the whole Rainbow Six aspect of stealth games and Splinter Cell.
See, that's probably why I didn't get into it, because I'm a guns a-blazing type of guy. It's like, if you're going to give me a gun, I'm going to use it.
Yeah, it seems kind of silly to walk around with a loaded firearm the entire time and never use it. But I can't say that. I have to check out the game. I will be interested to play it if I come across the opportunity to do so. But Metal Gear Solid has a lot of clout behind it, so I'm willing to walk with the people on it and take their word for it because of the clout behind it, and it looks like it would be a fun game if I really got into it. But I just haven't had the opportunity or the desire really at this point. But back to the most recent production from Hideo Kojima, Death Stranding. So essentially you're walking around as a delivery dude, a package delivery guy, a courier, and you look like Norman Reedus out of The Walking Dead.
No, you're definitely that guy.
He's Daryl. Essentially a cameo. Death Stranding is an action game developed by Kojima Productions, i.e. Hideo Kojima, and basically you run around as Norman Reedus, otherwise known as Daryl from The Walking Dead, and you run around with a backpack and this little robot sensor thing that hangs up from your backpack, and you get grenades to throw at people. I haven't seen any other weapons other than the grenades. We just watched a 4-minute video on the quote-unquote first boss of the game, and what was your take on that, DJ?
Somewhat depressing. The game looks good. The visuals in the game, it looks good. the gameplay that I witnessed when the video was over, man, I was just like, what? When he defeated the boss, I'm just like, wait a minute. All he did was throw grenades at it. It didn't look like he was getting attacked. It didn't look like he was in any kind of desperate rush to get to the end of the level. You know, it was just kind of mundane.
Yeah, I agree. My take on the whole thing, so the intro cutscene to the boss fight was very captivating to me because he was talking to that like spectral ethereal figure or whatever with the skull mask. That was really interesting as far as like compelling me to learn more about the story and stuff. So I have a good feeling that the story would be really good, but the boss fight or whatever, if you even can call it a boss fight, it just looked like he was essentially running around the map, climbing up and down on stuff and occasionally throwing grenades at this giant spider slime tar monster thing. And yeah, you're right, it didn't look like at all to me that the monster was trying to attack him in any way. It didn't look like he was struggling at all. It didn't even look like a challenge. It was just like run around and throw the grenades. So there's, I don't know, what do you want to take on that? There's a lot of people that have so many mixed results on this whole thing.
It looks like it could be a good game. I would have to see more gameplay or get my hands on, actually sit down and play it without purchasing it, because from what I've seen, I will not be purchasing it. And it's a PlayStation exclusive anyway, isn't it?
Yeah, so okay, it came out on PlayStation for an exclusive. It'll drop Q2 on 2020 on PC.
Right. I don't own a PlayStation, so that okay, we'll drop on PC. Well, from what I've seen, I'm not really interested in throwing down any of my hard-earned dollars on it. But I'll have to watch some more gameplay video and see if maybe it picks up. The game visually looks good. I like the idea. It just looked like it lacked any kind of excitement whatsoever, man. It just, like I said, it was missing things.
Well,
for sure.
Exactly, and that's why I'm like confused as to why it's classified as in the action genre. Like, I get that was, I guess, action, but to me it didn't seem like, I don't know, it just didn't seem like it delivered on what it's trying to get at. Like, if you give me a gun or something like that, like give me some sort of weapon other than a grenade, like, because the grenades are just like throw it at the target and let it happen.
I mean, it just looks like it's going to get really repetitive.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm hoping there's some kind of cool, group of weapons that you can use other than just grenades. Because I mean, there's no way that a boss scene like that you should just be like, walk 20 feet, throw grenade, walk 20 feet, throw grenade, walk 20 feet, throw grenade. Where's the excitement in that? It's just not there. Right. So hopefully I can find videos on it that'll actually, show a little bit more of the game. But that particular video that was 4 minutes and 40 seconds was 4 minutes and 40 seconds of my life. I really wish I could get back.
Yeah, it's interesting, man. Metacritic gave it an 83%. IGN gave it an interesting rating of 6.8 out of 10. Which actually IGN was getting a lot of heat for that article because the guy was just like, look, I didn't enjoy the game. And people were just like, how could you not enjoy the game? It's Hideo Kojima. God damn it. And then Common Sense Media gave it a 5 out of 5. So I don't even know what that is. But I mean, take what you will. I guess it's very, 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 very subjective to the player. And I think that if anything, the winning qualities of it will be the story and the writing.
I think we might have watched the wrong gameplay video. Maybe there's more to it, but that was just very depressing.
Yeah, we'll have to look into it for sure and check it out, see what happens. Look into it some more.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to the next topic. All right, so for those of us who are YouTube creators and content creators in general, YouTube has been looming the apocalypse, and people are referring to it as Adpocalypse number 3. So is YouTube apocalypse coming? FTC rules that could start demonetizing creators in 2020. Basically, tubefilter.com released an article stating all about this new COPPA law. Apparently, COPPA is a 1998 U.S. law that restricts the operators of websites and online services from collecting the personal information of under 13-year-old users without parental permission. So that being said, basically what is happening is these content creators that are creating content for children and kids and stuff like that, so like Minecraft, mainly a lot of gaming stuff is being targeted towards like kids games, Minecraft creators, stuff like that. They're all being hit with this, and essentially what the issue is, what the lawsuit is saying is, or it's a $170 million settlement stating that YouTube is collecting under 13-year-old user information without parental permission, which is against the law because of personalized ads, right?
Right.
Okay, so it's kind of a convoluted thing, but it is a big issue that's going on right now because this is what is going to happen because of it. So YouTube is stating that policy changes are going to make content creators who create content mainly directed towards children or kids are going to have to explicitly set their videos as kid directed. And kid directed means there's like a checkbox on the video information that you can check and say that it's directed towards kids. And what that essentially does is it turns off personalized ads. So the reason why this is a huge issue is because the trial periods where some creators have been going under tests for this for YouTube and they've turned off personalized ads on their videos have reported ad revenue losses between 60 and 90%.
Wow, that's pretty substantial.
Yeah. So essentially, if you're making $100 off of a video and you turn this personalized ad stuff off, you're gonna be
$10.
Yeah, you're gonna be set down to about $10 to $40 at the max. And you can
Jeez.
obviously see where this is gonna hit YouTube creators really hard because people that make these kid-directed videos that are dependent on that financial income because it's their full-time career are going to be out in the snow. So I'm not too happy about this. I'm a very small content creator myself, obviously with the podcast and everything like that, but it's scary because my daughter watches a lot of this stuff and a lot of the channels that she watches are going to be greatly impacted by this, and those people don't have, I mean, you can't really feel bad for them because they can go get a normal job, for God's sakes, but it's like one of those things with YouTube and how it keeps changing and it keeps screwing over their content creators at every turn possible, and it's just when is enough going to be enough, and there's no other alternative to YouTube, so that's where people are feeling really stuck between a rock and a hard place on this. What are your takes on this?
I feel like enough will be enough when content creators make nothing and YouTube reaps all the revenue. I don't create content. I mean, we do this. I don't ever expect to make any money off of it ever.
No, me either.
I would never even ask for money from people because I'm just doing this in the free time just to do it. But for those that rely on their YouTube revenue, I don't know, man. Kind of a slippery slope. It doesn't seem right. But there's nothing I can really, just nothing. I don't really have any more thought on it other than that.
I think it's interesting. Maybe it'll just now that I think about it a little bit, maybe it'll do more to like balance out the YouTube right now, as far as the content creator ad revenue stream, is very much so a 1%, 99% kind of thing. Like, unless you're a huge creator with a million subscribers and have 4 ads on every video, you're not making anything. Even more so now after the adpocalypses and stuff. And most of those content creators are honestly getting money from sponsorship and stuff like that, sponsorship deals and merch, external third-party merch sales and stuff.
I honestly think that the whole content creator thing, making revenue off of ads on YouTube has gotten a little ridiculous. I mean, everybody that has any kind of followers nowadays says, "Oh, I'm doing YouTube full time," and the next thing you know, you go from watching their content that you enjoyed to clicking skip after 5 seconds on 10 freaking ads in their video because they want to get the revenue from the ads. And I've unsubscribed from quite a few channels just because of the amount of ads that have seemed to just find their way in there. It's like everybody's trying to reap the rewards of being a content creator, but it also kind of feels like they're screwing their viewers because you're just tossing in a ton of ads.
Yeah, I agree. I do think because that's what you have to do to make any, because of the way that AdSense has been set up nowadays, it's so minuscule on the payouts and stuff like that that they have to really just pump that out, and it becomes something that they're not even trying to do. And I do agree full-heartedly that there's been a number of channels that I've unsubscribed to just because it's like you have a 10-minute video and 4 ads throughout it. Like, no, I'm not doing that.
4, that's it? That's it? I mean, I've unsubscribed from ones like, I swear it's like 6 videos. It's if they would have added another video, there would have been more time and ads than there was video. It's just a little ridiculous.
Yeah, so. It's stupid. And that's where I draw the line. But so I guess that's the real icing on the cake, if you want to say. So facing losses that might be large enough to make some creators not consider checking the directed to children box, even if they make videos for kids. So they asked creators to go through a trial period of this and disabled the personalized ads, also being called interest-based ads, under the advanced tab for a few days. Based on our initial testing, a video not running personal ads sees a loss in revenue between 60 and 90%. So That being said, facing a loss that large might be enough to make some creators consider not checking the directed to children box, even if they make videos for kids. But consequences for that are stiff. So, if the FTC decides that a video uploaded is kid directed, basically, if some dude in a data center in India decides that it's kid directed and sees it's not marked as kid directed, the creator could face a fine of over $42,000 per video.
Wow. It's like most middle classes annual wage, man.
That's a new car.
Yeah, okay.
Shit, you can get
Cars
the
are getting pretty expensive,
you can
man.
you can get the Series 3 Tesla for less than that. Well, you could when it was on.
Oh, keep your electric cars to yourself.
Yeah. Say what you want, man. When those things hit the racetrack and they put the friggin' gas pedal to or the go pedal to the ground.
I've seen them. I've seen them, man. The like, what is that? The PD 1000.
100% torque.
But call me old fashioned, but there's something about burning dead dinosaurs that just makes me happy. All right.
It's the smell of the cocoa bean oil and the race fuel that's in the two strokes that makes you
a little loopy.
Yeah. Anyways, $42,000 a video. What is your take on that?
I think that is unbelievably ridiculous.
It's kind of screwed up where we're at. It'll be interesting to see where this whole thing shakes out because it's not officialized yet. Should be taking place at the beginning of 2020, but it could change between now and then. So I will definitely keep us updated on it, and myself included, because I need to know what's going on with content creation because I've been doing live stream coding with my daughter now, and I don't want that to get screwed up. Anyways, moving on to the next thing, our last subject for the cast, we're going to talk a little bit about tech. So there's a couple of new leaks and whatnot that have been going on for new tech coming out on the
3080 Ti.
3080 Ti. So NVIDIA has, according to tweaktown.com, there has been leaked information on NVIDIA's new line of graphics cards that are coming out for GeForce.
Yeah. It's looking like, according to these guys, there's a potential for the 3080 Ti with possibly a 3080 and a 3070 as well.
So what's the difference between this and the 2080, and why should I give them more money, and why is it cheaper?
Well, according to the leak, this should be built off of 7nm technology. So, less power draw, more efficient.
That's the new architecture that's running on the new AMD graphics cards too. 7 nanometer.
Yeah. Everybody's going to that. It's going to be the industry standard now.
Cool.
Okay, so it looks like it's going to be way faster, potentially cheaper, and they're saying the possibility of more VRAM. Yay, like we didn't see that come. Looks like they are guesstimating that the RTX 3070 will have 12 gigabytes, the RTX 3080 will have 12 gigabytes, and the RTX 3080 Ti will have 16, which seems a bit large, but I guess for 4K gaming, that's
to keep
more memory.
Yeah, to keep all the textures and stuff in memory and whatnot, because I know that those take up a ton of space. It looks kind of cool. I mean, I don't know. What do we have a price point on this? A leaked price point at all? It looks like.
Oh God, no.
What?
$5 million. They're saying potentially cheaper.
Potentially cheaper.
Either way, when it comes out, if it is better, it could drive down the cost of the unbelievably expensive RTX 2080 Ti, which is a decent card if you're into ray tracing and 4K gaming.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, what other purpose is there of having a computer? But it looks like the new architecture is actually going to give pretty decent increases. Again, no figures in ray tracing performance. So. And we've already seen that AMD's the Navi cards that are going to be coming out are going to be supporting ray tracing as well.
Mm-hmm.
So ray tracing is probably here to stay. It's not going to be a fad.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so. I think it'll just, once it gets to the point where it's just like consumer grade technology, then it'll be a set standard.
Yeah. I just can't seem to come off my GTX 1080. I almost bought a 1080 Ti, and then that whole Bitcoin thing took off, and oh man, they went from like $750 to like $1,200, and now, I mean, NVIDIA doesn't even manufacture them anymore, so
right.
I'm going to sit on my GTX 1080 and skip the whole RTX 2 series and wait to see what comes next. Maybe I'll just stay a generation behind, or maybe there will be some kind of competitive pricing. It's just, I can't bring myself to pay $1,200 for an RTX 2080 Ti. And if I'm going to step off the GTX 1080, it's going to be I want a noticeable jump, man. I don't just want ray tracing. I want a noticeable, 40, 50 frames per second increase. And I just don't think I'd be happy for $1,200
Right.
with the performance I would get with the RTX 2080 Ti. So I'm going to sit back and wait and see how that goes.
Cool. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens going forward with this card line and to see how it performs and what actually comes out when it launches as far as specs.
Yeah. Plus we got Navi coming out here. Oh geez, it'll be next year, but still they've always been really good about boasting how good their graphics cards are going to be. But then once they release them, they always seem to fall a bit behind what Nvidia has already, thrown out on the market. So
yeah,
I'm hoping Navi will be totally different. I hope Navi will be something that competes not only at a price point, but, performance wise. I think people care more about solid, smooth, vibrant gaming performance more so than bells and whistles. And it doesn't look like ray tracing is going to be bells and whistles. It looks like it's going to be incorporated on both AMD and NVIDIA, obviously, in the future. So it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, I think right now ray tracing is kind of the bells and whistles status, and then going into the next line of cards that are going to be coming out is going to be the industry standard. So cool. We'll have to keep everybody updated on that, on what's going on with those cards coming out, because I'll probably be picking up the new 5700 XT card, one variant of it, at some point here in the end of the month. So I'm excited for that. On top of that, it looks like we've also had another leak, and this one has actually been confirmed into existence. So it looks like AMD is going to be coming out with a new 3rd gen Ryzen Threadripper 3990X, and this one is going to house a massive 64 cores and 128 threads of processing power.
It's going to be a monster.
I
bet it comes out with a monster price tag as well.
Yep. So that's going to be really cool. So little is known about the Threadripper at this point. It's rumored that it'll cost about $3,000 in US and could be officially announced when 3rd gen stablemates are launched, November 25th. However, apparently January 2020 will be when we can actually find out about the full specs of the HEDT64 chip. So it'll be cool. And it looks like there's an image of AMD doing some process managing and stuff with the processor box there in the background. So gosh,
I'm excited to see it happen, man.
That's going to be cool.
I probably will not be jumping on that bandwagon. $3,000 for a processor. Plus, I don't really do much more than game. I mean, that and watch YouTube. So Threadripper's a little overkill for what I'm doing.
Right.
Still sitting on the R7 1700, but I plan on eventually upgrading to I was looking at the Ryzen 9 3900X 12-core processor.
Oh yeah.
They're selling right now through Best Buy for $499. Still, it's a hard pill to swallow, $500.
Yep.
And I don't know what kind of gains I'd get off of it. Supposedly, the instructions per cycle is actually substantially better than the 1700, but that won't be until tax time. So maybe tax time we'll do a podcast of a new computer build.
Ooh, yeah, because I might be in the process of building a new computer myself, so we might have to do 2 of them coming up in the future here.
Ooh, 2 new computer builds.
Yeah, I don't know. So
that would be good.
Last little tidbit on the Threadripper processor. Looks like manufacturer, was it MSI Video, the desktop system being put through its paces is using the new MSI Creator TRX40 motherboard, which will house this new monster of a Threadripper. So that's how it got leaked in the first place. So pretty cool. The video has since been edited to be more discreet on the releasing of the product, but everybody knows already. So that being said, we'll have to see where that goes. Looking forward to seeing the results and the official announcement of that processor. And I think that's going to do it. We want to look at Steam really quick.
Oh, we should always look at Steam, man.
Okay.
What do we got for weekend deals, man?
Weekend deals, weekend publisher deals. We're going to try and figure out how to get a bit of a heads up on these going forward. But as of right now, publisher weekend sale is WB Games. So a lot of the Mortal Kombat, Hitman is on sale. Just Cause is on sale right now through Monday.
Did you see the Activision, the company you hate, 40th anniversary sale?
Nope.
He says nope.
I did not.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Spyro. What is that?
Oh, yeah.
Trilogy.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, $20. Yeah, it's like all the Spyro games remade, man. Sounds awesome. I want it for the Switch though, because it seems like I would have more fun mobile with that than sitting on my computer.
This game I might actually buy. Batman Arkham Asylum. I really enjoyed playing that game. And then when I got to Arkham City, it was just like stupid. It was a real letdown. I really enjoyed playing Batman. I liked the riddles and stuff. I 100%ed that game back on a system that I'll never be able to access in like 2 weeks, just because it was so enthralling, and that's all I had to do.
We got both prototypes in the Activision cell.
Oh, cool.
Prototype 1 for $4.99 and Prototype 2 for $10. And I used to play those on PlayStation 3. They were great games. I might have to pick those up.
Oh yeah.
$15, 2 games. That's not a bad deal.
Gauntlet Slayer Edition is on sale right now for 75% off. Team Fortress 2 is free to play. Call of Duty Black Ops 1 is on sale for 51% off at the moment. So yeah, not too much going on right now. I'll have to check out the Activision sale maybe and see. Is that on Steam?
Yeah, man. It's right down in the special offers.
Oh, I'll just buy their entire collection for $400.
For $1.5 million. Plus
$1 billion. Time Shift, Prototype, Call of Duty, King's Quest, Call of Duty.
Just Cause 4, Reloaded.
Just Cause 4.
65% off.
Yep.
Yeah. Have you ever played the Just Cause series?
Yeah, I have. I played Just Cause 2 and Just Cause 3 a bit back on the
3 was
Xbox,
awesome.
And it was kind of interesting. It was just like wreck everything. So it got kind of old quick.
Here we go, man. It's free weekend, so you can, if you want, you can download it and play it for another 1 day and 19 hours if you just want to play it for free. I'm going to go ahead and pick it up, man, and maybe we'll have something to talk about. Because the game's got a lot of mixed reviews. A lot of people said, what the hell? You guys took out all the good stuff. A lot of people said the game's good.
It's like every game these days.
I know, it sucks. I played the previous one, so we'll see if they actually took out all the good stuff. But either way, I'm going to go ahead and make that my purchase of this week, man.
Excellent. Cool. Well, I'm going to actually get into some Remnant actually this week because I've been itching to play that, and I'm kind of getting burnt out on Outer Worlds at the moment. So I'm going to try and play some Remnant and report back on how that plays, because it's like that third-person shooter Souls-like game. So it'll be interesting to get into that some more. And we'll report back. All right, dude, I don't have anything else. So if without further ado, I think we'll wrap it up. And do you have any final thoughts for the people?
For the people. No. This week I have nothing, man. Just stay above ground.
Yep. All right, cool, man. Well, you have a wonderful week. I'll talk to you very shortly, I'm sure. And for everybody listening, we'll catch you next week, same time, whenever we get the video uploaded. I'm going to try and get this out on Spotify, some sort of podcast platform, just the audio version if anybody wants to check that out. And I will keep everybody updated on that. And until next time, my name is Sharpie360. DJ KILLAG, thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely.
This has been the KILLAZ.INC podcast, and we are signing out. Peace.